All right, for real estate agents who are really looking for ways to kind of save more clients, save more deals, you're tired of showing houses maybe, and your clients just talk to the lender and then they start to get cold feet. You need something that has more options. And I've seen it right now in the last 6, 7, 8 months where people are getting cold feet more often. And I feel like we're having more conversations, we're showing more houses, and people are just saying, hey, that payment's too high, whatever it might be. There's a few things that will really help drive your business and new products that are coming out right now. One of our preferred lenders is offering something called VantageScore. A lot of people have heard about it, but what is it? So the nice thing about VantageScore is it's typically a higher credit score. This is a trial that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are trying out with them. Essentially, they score things a lot different than FICO. FICO was created in the 80s. They were the only player that the three bureaus pretty much had to follow for the scoring model. When you're the only player, how incentivized are you to improve people's credit or to change anything, even though maybe circumstances have changed? Not very. So I've had people pay off debt and collections. Credit score didn't go up. They had to basically like petition the credit bureaus, so to speak, who petitioned FICO and then got the score improved. It was a pain in the butt and took a lot of time. VantageScore looks at a few things. So one, when you pay off debt and collections, your score is going to change pretty much immediately is what they say, but I have seen it as well. This is when people say, oh, on my phone app, I'm seeing a credit score of this, but when we run credit, it's different. It's the VantageScore they're seeing. Not every time, but most of the time. Sometimes they are seeing one of the bureaus and it's a FICO score, but VantageScore is huge. The second is debt, the max usage of debt. So when people max out their credit cards, if they consistently are paying down the debt, VantageScore will give them a higher scoring because of that. Whereas FICO will they'll take months. And sometimes they don't even do that. They only look at the total usage of the credit. The next is if people have rent that's being reported to the bureaus. If they have telecom, so like Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, whatever it might be. The other one, utility bills. If those are all being reported to the credit bureaus, that improves their VantageScore, and so that plays a factor. And the fourth big one is people who don't have debt. When they get a credit card and start using it, they're going to see credit scoring almost immediately. And I've had this happen a lot where someone's either younger or for some reason just never had debt, and VantageScore will show that they have debt. Like I had someone, she was 19 years old, swore up and down her credit score, like without batting an eye, 725, 727, and 718. Ran their credit, nothing with the bureaus. Ran it with Vantage, and she was correct because she had gotten a credit card. It had been like a month or two, and she had utility bills, telecom, and rent. Maybe it wasn't rent. I think it was just utility bills because the place she was paying rent didn't report it because they don't have to. But that improved her credit. Why does that matter to you as an agent? When you're referring clients to a loan officer, you don't want to just look at what's the best deal, right? Are you an agent who only tries to offer the best deal for every client? Like I'm a 1%er agent or I'm a 0.5%er agent. No, I mean, it's about quality and service and what you can offer. The nice thing about being able to offer the VantageScore is even if people could qualify for their credit score, unless if it's 800 or above, if their VantageScore is higher, there's a really big likelihood that they're going to get a much better interest rate, which you know what that means to you as an agent? They may be more willing to look at a higher price range. They also may be less likely to get cold feet when I quote them a monthly payment because they're getting a much better interest rate. Here's what has killed me in the past as well. So-and-so had a friend who bought a year ago and got one interest rate. And today's interest rates are so much different. Maybe they're worse, which this is what happens a lot. And so they're saying, why did they get a better interest rate? Now I'm getting cold feet and I'm disappearing. Or this happened with an agent whose brother got a better interest rate than her. And she was very upset about it. I'm like, your brother has a much better credit score than you. That's literally the only reason. Oh, and they were putting 20% down. But actually, if their credit score was better, it probably would have been pretty similar. But with VantageScore, that changes. Like I've seen people disappear a lot because of that kind of stuff. So that's a huge one. The next big one is with that same lender that's offering this, we are able to offer a free 1.0 buy down. So before, you either had to have the seller pay for it, you as the agent would have to give a credit for it, or we would have to build it into the interest rate. We can't actually give credits from our commission, long story, but we could build it into the interest rate. But the downside of that is, okay, now I'm quoting them a higher rate once again than what they may be hearing or what they may be seeing or what they might feel comfortable with. The nice thing about the free 1.0 buy down that just gets applied is, one, if they already feel comfortable with their interest rate, they're going to be even more excited with this 1.0 buy down. Basically, I did the math. It's anywhere from $60 to about $63 a month in savings for every $100,000. So if they're looking at a $500,000 purchase price, 5 times whatever, $550,000 purchase price, 5.5 times 60 or 63. The really nice thing about it is for the competitive areas as well. So if you're in a competitive area and someone needs to go up in purchase price 10,000, 20,000, or from their list price, and they're starting to say, I don't know if I want to do it. With the 1.0 buy down, let's say $500,000 is what they felt comfortable with, but now they're having to offer 510, 520, 530 because it's competitive. With the 1.0 buy down, that payment difference probably at 30,000, you might be getting more in like the 150, depending on the interest rate and the person, $150 to $200 a month more in their payment. Whereas the 1.0 buy downs anywhere from 250 to 400, probably, in monthly savings for that first year. So it helps justify that. And I've seen that left and right. Plus, if they want that lower monthly savings, like I've had talks with clients who said, man, we want this payment, we'd be willing to stretch it to this. And I look, I say, with where rates are at, you're already at this higher amount, if not a little bit more. Now I can say, hey, but you get this deal. So if you want to look at that higher amount, that's fine. You're actually getting this for this 12 months. And I'm getting a lot of people right now who are saying, maybe I want to wait to see what rates are going to do in the next 12 months. You don't have to wait. You're going to enjoy that 1% less for the next 12 months. And what I'm seeing, and I haven't seen it in the last several years, was market sentiment on the likelihood that rates are going to go down in an 8 to 12 month period is extremely high. Before, it was very mixed. So people really thought, based on economic news, that rates should have been going down, and they had been saying it for the last several years, that in the next 6 months, the next 6 months. But the confidence level was pretty low or pretty average. This is the highest I've seen it in a while. So probably because of new Fed chair, probably because, I don't know, like lots of different reasons. So for you, this is a great way to win over clients and be able to offer things. I'm not saying that you should do the job of a loan officer and be educating clients on the loan stuff. But what you have to look at is every referral you make is a reflection of you. That's my opinion. Obviously, some people think a little bit differently, but when you refer someone, you want to be comfortable and confident that they're going to encourage that client. If you're someone who says, well, I always refer 3 loan officers, 3 home inspectors, 3 whatever, I have a feeling most of your clients are only calling 1. And it only takes 1 quoting them something that already makes them think, that's too high, I don't want that, and they're just going to disappear. Not to say you don't have to give multiple options, but when I was working more as an agent, I gave 1 person because I wanted every client to be won over. I wanted them to feel comfortable and confident that when we're looking at prices on homes and we're submitting offers, that it matches their payment goal and that there's no hiccups. That slowly started to change with the person that I was sending business to, hence why I got my mortgage license, among many other things. But that is one of the things that you want to look at when you're looking at a mortgage broker or a loan officer. Will they educate my client? Will they take the call? Will they present options to my clients that fit, that isn't just one, I'm tied to a box, that creates options? I mean, yes, all of us can probably run for 14 bucks through this simulator. Hey, how do we get their score up? How do we encourage them to save more money? But you want someone who can present lots of options just to increase the likelihood of converting more deals. If you get 10 clients, then you send to someone and you're able to convert a couple more than normal because maybe there were more options available, I think that's worth you and your business in the long run. So if that sounds good to you, feel free to reach out to me. If you don't like me, but you like some of the things I'm saying, feel free to reach out to some of my other loan officers. Go to our website, purposehomelending.com. You can read all about them, watch some of their YouTube videos. But we'd love to work with you and work for you.